Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be redrawing / redesigning my very first OC that I ever had. And here we have my first digital drawings of her. The one on the left is the very first drawing I ever did in Photoshop, and the one on the right is the very first drawing I did in Paint Tool SCI. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about her, but let's just jump into the actual video. So before I even really get into the drawing, I definitely wanted to make some notes about her design and what I wanted to keep and what I wanted to fix. I definitely wanted to keep that overall aesthetic of her, sort of like a cold, mysterious badass, but at the same time I really wanted to fix, her color scheme. It was just way too evident in me being an emo weeb, the hair over the eye. I wanted to give her a little bit more, make her have a little bit more meaning to her in a sense. And now I'm sort of drawing out some poses that I wanted to draw her in. I definitely wanted to do something more dynamic and evident of the fact that she was a cool, badass fighter, because obviously you couldn't really tell in the original poses because she was just sort of standing still. Now I'm setting up my canvas, and I'm doing a really quick sketch, really ugly, just sort of I can get the idea of what I want her to look like. And the pose that I do her in, you can't really see her outfit that much, but just sort of nice to have that idea of what you want it to look like. And she also looks a lot younger here, because she was supposed to be like a 16-year-old, maybe 18, a teenager. But I chose this pose because I definitely felt it was most contrasting to the original pose, which is just sort of standing still, not that interesting. Well, this has a lot of movement, it's really dynamic, a lot of diagonals to show her like how aggressive she was, and also ignore the fact that her hands backwards. I realized that later and I switched around, but for now you can just ignore it. But I guess I'll talk a little bit more about her. Obviously, like I said, she was supposed to be like a cool, mysterious fighter. I made a whole huge backstory and thing behind her and all the other people associated with her and her origin story. Essentially, she was a demon fighter who was raised by 2 dragons, and she had powers of shadows and the powers of wolves. There's, yes, switch the hand around. But I like to give my characters lots of powers. She had like darkness powers, she had a huge sword, she had like the ability to transform into a wolf, and she had wings later on, like in that second picture. Yeah, I was not a fan of giving my characters flaws or anything like that. Essentially, she was just as amazing of a character as I can think of. Obviously, I was young, I didn't really have any really experience in designing characters or knowing how characters should look or work or think or anything like that. So I just sort of put all my ideas into one and made this huge, amazing girl who is supposed to be amazing at everything, and of course everyone wanted to date her, and you know how it goes, Mary Sue's. At least she didn't have rainbow hair. She just had edgy hair. But her original design, I didn't really have any reason for her to look the way she did, except for that, oh, this looks cool, and I wanted to put a little bit more thought into this. Originally she had like gray hair, sort of like a weird, unnatural skin color, red eyes, and her last name was Japanese, even though I didn't really portray her as Japanese at all. I was just a weeb and wanted to have her a Japanese name. So, I decided to make her albino, as that sort of fit in with her original aesthetic the best, and it sort of kept with the sort of desaturated, cold, mysterious vibe I wanted to give her, instead of having all those bright reds, because that didn't really fit her. I wanted her bright red eyes to be the only really bright thing about her, while the rest was sort of gray and dark. And I felt the color scheme I switched to, which is a lot more dark reds and browns and grays, looked a lot more a lot better than the just black, silver, bright red that I had before. I also wanted to change her sword. Originally I was just like, what's the coolest most anime huge knife sword I could think of. I had been watching Bleach at the time, so she has a lot of inspiration from Bleach, like the huge machete sword. Instead of using that awful original sword, I sort of looked up some actual huge swords, and I found one, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Falchion, I don't know. But it was a sword that, well, the one she's holding, it looks like that. It's pretty big, and it was used in the Middle Ages, I believe. So, in Europe, I think. Don't quote me on it. You can research it yourself. But, you know, it's an actual sword. I felt like it would make more sense for her to have a real sword than just some weird thing that has a bunch of holes and sticky outy parts and stuff in it that really didn't make any sense. And, but anyway, so I really loved her as an OC. I drew her all the time. Like I said, I wrote about her. Sort of her story was that it took place in the past. Well, originally it took place in the past when there was some sort of war going on, World War. You know, I wasn't really that knowledgeable of history at the time, so it was just sort of whatever indiscriminate war I could think of. And her town got bombed, or at least I thought it was bombed, but it's actually dragons who had come to take her away, and they took her away to some secret dimension island where they had one other girl who was like her, had this magical power or whatever, the wolf power, and the other girl had a snake power. And they sort of spent years training them to become amazing fighters and harness their powers, but when they left the other dragon dimension, time had moved so much faster, and it was the present time, and she had to fight demons and stuff in the present time and get used to the different time at the same time. It was kind of a mess, but you know, it was fun, and here's the finished piece, and it's definitely much better than my last one was. I had a lot of fun doing this. I had a lot of fun seeing how much I've improved, and just doing this once in a while really just helps you look at what you've done and see how far you've gotten, and it really is a great confidence boost. And if any of you guys are artists, I recommend taking a really, really old piece of art and drawing it again, and you'll see how much better you've gotten. Especially if you're ever having doubts about yourself, it's a great thing to do. But thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll make more videos where I actually talk about it soon enough. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to let you know that I've started a Patreon. If you want to help support me making more art, more animations, and more videos, you can pledge a few dollars a month and receive cool rewards like exclusive sketches, comics, videos, Patreon-only live streams, and free commissions. Don't feel obligated, but I appreciate anyone who helps support me with my whole heart. And if you don't think you can make a commitment like Patreon, you can always shoot me a message to my Tumblr listed in the description below if you'd like to commission me. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye!